What's up, whole Power Ass crew? Today's video is about changing the Serpentine belt. Now, a long time ago, I released a video on how to change the Serpentine belt, but I did textbook style. Textbook style meaning this is what the factory recommends you do it by doing the bolt tensioner over there on the power steering pump. There is a bolt you got to loosen, then there's the adjustment that adjusts the tension on the belt. Well, it's like this: if your tension is good already, but you just got a belt that's due to be changed because it's got dry rot cracks or something like that, it's a headache to take that power steering pump, loosen it up, loosen the tensioning bolt, then tighten the tensioning bolt back up, then tighten the bolt back. It's just a pain, people. Well, one of my subscribers by the name of Detailing Panda recommended this. And I was like, duh, how many times have I done that before to avoid fooling with that adjustment bolt? Because it's just such a pain. Well, when I do these YouTube videos, I tend to make them textbook. This is what the factory should do. Those of you who know me personally are going to laugh at me saying that comment. Me doing what the factory does just almost never happens. So, Detailing Panda left that great suggestion. When I seen that, I was like, duh, I've done it a gazillion doggone times. I want to show you what he recommended. Let's get on with this. But first, if it's the first time you guys land on Power Axe YouTube channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you'll be notified when I release these videos. Because I do Jeep videos, car videos, motorcycle videos, tool videos, review videos, fabrication stuff, paracord stuff. You really never know, but it's going to be educational. It's going to be helping you, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Let's get on with this. So what we need to do is to make this happen, you got a 15 millimeter here, 15 millimeter down there. And just for make the video a little bit more brief, I've already loosened everything up. Back here in the back, this bolt passes all the way through. You've got a 15 millimeter nut back here. So what you need is 15 millimeter deep socket to get to this right here, because you got to clear the front pulley to the front of the pulley. And you can use that same deep on this right here if you want. But I always tend to get better leverage if I use a 15 millimeter standard length, short length, right there. But what you do is whenever you loosen this one up, and you have your wrench back here to loosen that up. Because you got to make sure that nut stays still. Here I'm tightening it. You got to make sure that nut stays still so you loosen this up. Because you've got a bushing that's through this leg back here. Let me show you. Here is this leg here. This leg here is back here. Notice this bushing right here. Whenever you tighten your bolt up here and the bolt is coming and squeezing, what happens, it pushes this bushing inward through this leg and it squeezes on this bracket up underneath here, and it creates more it's a spacer to allow you to put the alternator in easier. Because whenever you change alternators, what you want to do is take this right here and bump it back. Bump this bushing backward a little bit, which increases the space right here to allow you to slide the alternator from here to upside here much easier. Then you take the bolt here, which passes all the way through, like I said. It passes through here and goes all the way through the bracket, through the bushing here, and your nut goes on the back side back here. So by creating that more space, it just gives you easier access to heft the alternator up inside there, run the bolt through, then you can turn it loose and work with the rest of it. So, but also whenever you go to loosen the alternator, like what I'm showing you here, just to change your Serpentine belt, you want to loosen the nut enough that this isn't creating friction against that bracket. It does not, you don't need to take the nut off, but what I suggest is having the nut loosen up that you probably got about on the 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch gap back here. Therefore you ensure that you've got plenty of room for this bushing to relax and allow the alternator to pivot like we need it to. Now we take, like I said, this right here is a 15 millimeter nut back here. Use a wrench on 15 millimeter way down here. Like I said, use a 15 millimeter deep all the way down here. And keep loosening it up. Keep loosening it up till the bolt is completely out. Now I'm not gonna actually change my Serpentine belt because it's actually in really good shape. But I will take it off the pulley to show you guys, hey, this is what you do to change your belt. Now what you need to do is, if you are actually changing your belt, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, is that pay attention to where it loops around what, and so you put it back on correctly. I don't have air conditioning on this rig, never have, but if you did, it would come off the top of this pulley, it would come over the air conditioning and down to the alternator here. But I will have onboard air before too long, and which will put me in an air compressor right here. And yes, using the exact same AC compressor that would keep me cool inside the cabin will also be what's mounted right here to make me an air compressor to air up tires, run air coolers, whatever. Okay, I about got that bolt out, I believe. There he goes. Bolts out, and watch this. Push the alternator in. You see how easy it moves? Now it's hitting the bracket back here and on the block. This you want loose enough that, like I said, if I push it forward, I've got about 1/8 inch gap right here, which allows that bolt to move some. Now at this point, what we can do, we can take the belt off. Now if you just try to slide it straight off here, you can. But what I suggest from this point is right here on the water pump, slide it off. I don't see if the camera's in view. Of course not. Just turn around so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. All right, much better. Right here on your water pump, the belt will slide right off here, which will give you more clearance and give you more loosen the belt up much more to where you can slide it right off the alternator like this. Now some of you are going to say, hey, you got the wrong alternator because I've got an extra rib right here. Here's the deal, and I've mentioned this on past videos. This alternator come off of a Dodge Durango. This is a big 135 amp alternator. It's one of my upgrades, and there's a video for that too. I'll put a video up here in the top of the video. It'll pop up a little card, or I'll put it down in the description, down the details below so you can see it. People keep saying you got to change the pulley. If you go from the Jeep alternator, which only has 6, I checked that alternator back here behind me thinking it had the same amount of ribs on it, and guess what? It must be an upgrade alternator too. But your Dodge Durango videos, Dodge Durango alternators have got one more rib than your factory Jeep alternator does. Now the big thing is, people say, oh my gosh, you got to change out the pulley because it's got too many ribs. No, you do not have to change out the pulleys. Only thing you've got to do is make sure your belt is riding on the back ribs. Leave one front rib open. That is fine. I have run this alternator now for a few years and have had 0 issues with belt wear. This Serpentine belt right here is much older than the alternator is, and I've got 0 cracks, 0 stress of any type on the belt. The belt's in perfect shape. So for anybody that does the Dodge Durango upgrade, and I'll link it up in a pop-up card, or I'll put it down in the description so you guys can check out what it takes to put the Dodge Durango alternator on it. You do not need to change the front pulley. You can if you want to, totally your call. But in order to change that front pulley, oftentimes what you need is an impact wrench to put on that front nut, to spin that front nut off, to change out the pulleys, pop the other one on, tighten it back up. Do I have an impact wrench? I sure do. I got all kinds of fun little tools, but you know what? I knew it would work, and I said heck with it, and I didn't do it. So there you go. So now, back to the video. Back to the subject at hand. Look how easy that moves. Now, we're going to put that bolt back in place. So what we need to do is get a pry bar down behind here, and if you still have your alternator, your battery hooked up, be careful, because right here's your charge post. This charge wire right here goes directly to your battery. Whenever you're putting your pry bar back here and you bump into that post, guess what? If you shorten it out to the block, you're going to get sparks, so be careful. So get in behind here, wedge it down behind the block, pull the alternator forward, and I'm fixing to put my big fat head right in front of the camera because I want to look at something. Because down here, the bottom bolt access has got to line up, be even with where the bolt goes in at. So now we take our bolt, put it in there, pull on the, what you need to do is your pry bar here, you pull it back and forth and work with it a little bit until you feel the bolt grab the threads. And whenever you feel it grab the threads, and there you go. I just screwed it in by hand. So simple. So the only thing you really need to do is loosen your top bolt, take your bottom one completely out, allows the alternator to pivot in, and to change your belt, slide it off the water pump pulley. Then you can feed it right off the end of the alternator. Put your new belt on, slide it over the end of the alternator, get in behind here. Tell you what, let me change camera angles and I'll show you how I got my pry bar positioned. Now you can see right here, I'm on the back side of the alternator here, and I did not have to put a lot of pressure on it. Here's what I'm talking about for your charge wire. If I was to be putting my pry bar back here and it was short and it was touching the block and I touched it into that, guess what? I'm going to have sparks, so be careful with that. Put it on the back side of the alternator here. This is touching the block. I pulled the bar this way, which pulled out on the alternator this way, which allowed me to put that bolt in right there. Super easy. So Detailing Panda, I really appreciate you dropping that suggestion in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tighten that bolt up and tighten this right here up and get my Jeep back ready to roll. Let me head down to our friend's house in a little bit. So if you guys enjoyed that video and you learned a little something from it, hit that thumbs up down below. Hit that little bell notification so you don't miss any of these cool videos. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave me some cool comments down below. Check that out. Cool comment turned into a video. Yes, I can turn your comments to a video. If I haven't already done the video, I can say, if I have already done the video, I can point it toward the video that I've already done, or on www.poweraddicts.com, I am building a database to where you can sort through all my videos to make them much easier to find. So I get questions often, say, hey Chuck, have you done a video on a crankshaft position sensor? Well, yes, I actually have. And instead of digging through all this crap on YouTube's search feature, which really is at best, I'm building a database where you click, 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 and sort out all my videos and find them much quicker over on the website. I'll put a link down below so you guys can go to that. All the videos are not yet there, but I'm working on it. So everyone, enough of my gabbing here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you enjoyed the video and learned something from it, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified when I release these videos. And see cool comments down below, gotta subscribe. And oh yeah, these videos are very instructional and I intentionally make them this way. Sometimes they're a little bit longer than they need to be because I do detail the heck out of them. So with them being instructional like that, you guys can help everyone out. How, you ask? Take that link to that video, share it to your Facebook, share it to your Reddit, share it to your Instagrams, or whatever social media it is you use, your Twitter even. Share it to your social medias to help other people out. Because if you're a member of Jeep groups, Facebook groups, Jeep forums, or whatever the case may be, whenever you link these videos out, you're helping other people. I go through all the trouble making the video. You guys can share them out. It's super easy for you, and you get to help people. That's what we all should do. That's what we do as Jeep people. Come on, we help each other. Okay? Share those videos out. So thumbs up, subscribe, cool comments down below. Peace out. Later, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.